Welcome back, YouTube. Today we are building my server still. I'm working on building a couple graves here for the start of the series. That is a pretty nice grave. Actually, it's 1 2 tall. We're gonna go like this. There we go. Okay, this grave will be the biggest for a reason. I really hope people see this chest and they just open it to see what's in it. So like this. Do I got a chest in here? No. Okay, so right now it's all about setting up the series. It takes a lot of time to set up. It takes a very long time to set up, I should say. Actually, yeah. Okay, nice. So there, come over here. Here lies Count Marcus Smith. Or Marcus Smith, my bad. You got the fangs that turn you to a vampire, and then the umbrella. Of course, everyone will be given an umbrella because I'm that guy. But I can't stack them. So there'll be a few umbrellas at spawn. I cannot break blocks in front of this sign, by the way, so it's things should talk about here, but I don't know what caused that. Not done. I just want to go to bed. Feel free to change whatever. I'll be back on tomorrow again. Nice. So I have help, by the way. There's people help me build this, set this up. It's very much a thing that me and my friends are doing. They're great people. I would not be able to do it without them. The umbrella's in here somewhere, I believe. There it is. There's gonna be like 10 of us, so having like a couple umbrellas here and there ain't the end of the world. I just know as soon as that first vampire gets turned, we're gonna have a small problem on our hand. Yeah. And the rest of this we gotta build. So we built the graveyard, but it's not quite finished. Because we do need to build a path through it. And boom. So we'll walk on this one. Awesome, there's our path around there. Okay, and then central would be this block here. So as you can tell, we do a lot of building around here, and it's sort of not the simplest thing. Once all the projects are set up, though, there will be, I'm hoping to do an SMP server on here. Not too many rules on here, but it will be an SMP server. It'll be very basic, very easy to use, very easy to function. And my friends, and that's about the majority of it. And so I'll get back to you guys when I'm done doing this road and we're doing time lapse and stuff. maybe if you're lucky, I'll have all my friends on here and have a conversation or two, as well as doing some time lapses, and maybe we see. Alrighty then, nice. I love hearing that. I just don't want one of them NPC vampires to go to kill me in creative. Oh, that's way easier. Alrighty guys, I'll catch up to you guys in a bit. Alrighty, so I'm trying out an early version of Gradient. I think it's looking pretty nice. Cobble, deep slate, tough, stone, cobblestone. Cobble, deep slate, tough, stone, cobblestone. All the way down. 2 to 3 blocks of cobble deep slate, and 1 or 2 blocks of tough, and then 1 or block of stone-ish. Walls are a little short for 3 though, so we have to try and keep that limited to 2 to 0. But we do have to clear out everything up to the second block-ish. We got tons of room. Let's go 3. Zero to 3. Be our gradient there. Alrighty, down we go. Whee! I'm just gonna punch all this.